Oh, hey. Um, so yeah, I'm just really fed up with people and their narratives and their you need to own because they watched that Aries Heaven video that I shared with them so they could follow. I thought she was a good astrologer. Spoke to a few different age groups and could overall good descriptions. I never foresaw people being so idiotic and taking things out of context so much and being like, you need to own the narrative that we put on you. As a little narcissist. Fox. Speaking of narcissists, let's talk about the ultimate narcissist. He's just been jealous since the beginning. Just about like pretty much like you're Sagittarius, I am too. You tend toes, I don't tend toes. You're a woman, me too, but that means you can't be one. You have a career in art? No, you don't. Now I have one. Yeah. And then I've read all these little people doing their bidding or bidding. It's just like just kind of I don't know. It would be just like torture if I didn't have, like information about people. Um, Specifics, it's just so annoying when just gotten done like every reasonable, logical, persuasive, factual, and like reasoning and explanation, or why, or not even a statement of what people can do and why not. It's like talking to children, and then 5 minutes later, what is it? But like someone who probably just like tortured me over the course of 2 hours this morning, only to say morning. I was talking about a woman, actually, a couple. Poor guy heard me say that yesterday and then repeated it this morning. Also heard my what do I have to say about that? Morning. Yeah, so I'm really sick of people like just like you're our baby and we didn't give you a choice, although even God gave people a choice. So regarding what is illegal, we thought you just had to be subservient to us and go by our narrative that we made up like yesterday because it fits our agenda to keep you out of your own life way and place and destiny in life. And it's like, no one could be that. You can't be that stupid or awful, right? Because I mean, I know myself. I know what I lived. I know what I created, and I know who I am, and I know that I started my career in art pretty much when I was 2. Pick up a pencil and draw. Being trained by, I think, spirit guides of former artists and designers like Klimt and the Rapunzel and the tower that I drew very flat, like that tilted head like the kiss by Gustav Klimt, or the the woman with the short black hair that I put in the best, also in Swedish. But some other ones, fashion illustrations. Like Chanel was teaching me about prints and fashion illustrations and whatnot. Basquiat. And the list goes on and on. For a while, and around like 10 or 11, I was just making these booklets of like repeats of like flowers and like in grid patterns, and like hearts and flags and like basic pop culture, things for like a 10-year-old. So like Andy and just like things like that, So that I just would be that confident in the value of what I bring to the table, of my ideas, and that's why I said that they would owe me like $1 billion. They're great ideas. I was that confident in my ability to create and artistically direct and research and what is original. It's just funny that people outside of that arena had a lot to say about it, since it's such a prevailing issue. And having spoken to my publisher, reassured me I could sue for copyright infringement if I need to. It is my letter. I'm sure they print it off, but it is my money that I pay for. My publishing, my book, and my contract. It's a hybrid place. It's not a vanity place. It's a hybrid place. Don't worry. So in any case, I was just outside my porch, just getting really fed up with it, Ended it off all day and can only say the same damn thing 20 million times. You're like, well, what do they need to hear? What do they need to hear? To make them, I don't know. That's not really my concern. If they thought they could break me and tell me how to live in my own life and narrative, I thought I should tell them about them. Ruin their lives and fuck up their careers. And everything that they thought they were or are or have lived and need in life. Yeah. I think it starts with identifying people. Yeah. So did you know that, timing confirmed, that AOC is the devil? El Diablo. Yeah, apparently. Like what degree, all kinds of Satan and El Diablo, I don't know. It's all different kinds. Probably. But yeah, she's the devil. That makes sense why I've been in political slavery. Using my life, they're supposed to be gone in 2017. That was another timing. Phrase and not song. And also confirmed elsewhere, but I can't really, always say where something like. It was my ex drive, and it was from this song, and every little enough to know what I'm talking about. There's a lot to know, but I have to look back at my notes, but yeah. So they thought they were going to tell me about my life. I just thought, since, who was it? MSNBC, it was like, after I was saying it's not my job, it's like, it's your job to tell the truth. But insofar as it, right? Insofar as it reflects accurately their implied agenda, narrative, is that true? I'm not sure what that does for me. Seeing as none of what they've done is really at all for my benefit. So they were just taking cues from someone who's not me, passing my work off as them. I guess I didn't really actually listen, but maybe listen to someone else. I don't really know how that whole thing worked. It's kind of why I'm trying to get free of this whole, situation scenario where I'm just like mirrored back in every way, but then told that I'm mirroring them, and that I don't know, all kinds of things. I mean, I studied fashion forecasting. Didn't sign up to play death for voter shit. Any capacity, although they wanted that. They also wanted weather and traffic report. They also wanted, and not to be confused with actual human trafficking. Because when you sort of hinder someone's livelihood and ability to make a living, as a lot of artists work from home and work out of their home. Sometimes with a home studio, and other times air, space, time, and Bukowski poem. I have an Instagram. Again, I don't know exactly the title. But it's like, no, you're going to create with whether or not I could probably find it. But that's kind of besides the point. Point being that it would be highly inappropriate for someone to illegally have access to one's own place of work, whether that be at home or in a office, and just go in there and just like throw papers and be like, oh yeah, and boink, 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 boink. Pay attention to me and do what I say and say what I think. But actually, I'm going to take what you say and say that's yours. And oh, I'm going to just make a nightmare of your finances. And I'm going to rearrange all your spreadsheets and your information. And I'm going to contact people in places to shit about you. And I'm going to take all your money too. And I'm going to pay myself. All your paychecks go to my bank account. Wouldn't that be fun for you? I'm sure you wouldn't like that very much. Right? But I guess that's what they thought that they could do here for some reason. Air and light and space and time and space. I'll read it. We'll have a little poetry beatnik session. Air and light and time and space. You know, have you ever had a family, a job, something has always been in the way? But now I've sold my house. I've found this place, a large studio. You should see the space and the light. For the first time in my life, I'm going to have a place and a time to create. No, baby, if you're going to create, you're going to create whether you work 16 hours a day in a coal mine or you're going to create in a small room with 3 children while you're on welfare. You're going to create with part of your mind and your body blown away. You're going to create blind, crippled, demented. You're going to create with a cat crawling up your back while the whole city trembles in earthquakes, bombardment, flood, and fire. Baby, air and light and time and space have nothing to do with it. And don't create anything except maybe a longer life to find new excuses for. So I try to remember that when I'm overwhelmed by my environment. It's very important to me. Even more so because I do work from home and compression and just how I function best. Moon and Taurus, having environment, senses, design, interior design, all about a nice, having my personal space, whether it's small or ideal. But, it's just when people find out your triggers, because they went into my, like, if people went into your house and violate your privacy to find out your personal information and triggers and whatnot so that they could A, make you look bad, and then B, hinder your life so they could keep you stuck in a place so they could use them against you constantly, whether they're your actual triggers or not. Wouldn't you find that annoying? Like, say they fundamentally, or they knew a lot about astrology, pretended maybe that they didn't, or maybe had a chart read by someone who does, found out everything and went opposite of that. And like, oh, you're about like, I don't know. It's that Aquarius trait. It's like, oh, you're a pescatarian? Here's some dead fish. Yeah. And something you can't use. All these things because we misinterpret things and don't know normal, typical interactions, especially within fashion and our creative. I don't know. Or like if you are diagnosed with like a mild anxiety disorder, and then they bombard you with people without telling you about that, and then you have to figure it out through people repeating you back and like added all this stress, repeating you back like 5 minutes after you left the horse house. Yeah, if you had to figure it out that people are watching you that way, and seeing your life and all these kinds of things that either that's what gaslighting do, but gaslighting. Yeah, if you had to like go through that kind of stress, blaming someone for someone else's life, the narrative, of being blamed for those kinds of things, pass judgment without even being there to defend yourself. All these things that our country fundamentally doesn't stand for at all. Individual choice and right. All of it. Opinions. I don't know. I can't even begin to say where these people got their damn little game to afflict me with. Their opinions, preferences, and narrative of zero accuracy or contingency in my life. I'm already here living in, pre-established and pre-existing. Same with my illustration business in the last 20 years. Damn fucks thought they were going to steal from me. They literally thought that my life, that I was here living for them, to provide them with my identity, my own birth chart, my own thoughts, that's my commodity. That's my, as an artist, as a conceptual artist, illustrator, that's mine. What I make in my own home, think of in my own little head. My hard head story. I didn't say these things so that people pass them off themselves. So that people could know what informed my career as an artist and how it's all tied together. Because it is intrinsically entwined with my life on nearly every level in some way, shape, or form, and just different categories. And like I keep saying, they need to see my social security number, all these things to at least get them off my back so that I don't have to go through this on a daily basis. I don't care if they like me, but you see my gym uniform from lab school. What do you need? I'm pretty sure they have those things and they're passing them off as me. Like my passport at someone's house. Social security number. I mean, I found out a lot. But I like to collect a good amount of data so I'm not just going off one instance that could be thought of in different ways. Like people like that. I agree, God's house. But it could have been people like that. People like the narcissists that live down the block from them with the matching blue Kia that are all watching a narcissist video. The only people in like a 10-block radius that were actually outside and specifically aligned with the word narcissist when I walked past them. There's also another blue Kia over an apartment complex over there on Wood Street. But prior to that, I was in an Uber and passed that same intersection, your shadow. And the same prior to that, actually walking shadow. So, but that was prior to even seeing the blue car, the blue Kia sitting there. So, it's just interesting that, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Maybe they thought I had the blue Kia maybe they thought that was mine, not my parents sitting in the driveway, and maybe they liked it and thought I should get a car like that and found one similar. Or, the exact same. But yeah, I'm not trying to judge on those things. I'm simply collecting objective data so I can have an idea of how and what what things have happened, what people have done, what has been, so I can obviously confront and deal with what I would need to have been dealing with all this time that I've been kept in the loop or informed of the life people have been passing off as their own. Well, they could call me life and a child. It's silly. It's unimportant. I'm Caitlin Carlisle, 2946 here on YouTube. This is the channel you're watching it on. And Caitlin Carlisle Corny here in real life. Caitlin Carlisle is what I go by mainly as an artist. Or CCG or CC because it's my initials. Caitlin Carlisle. It's also the initials of other people like Coco Chanel. Tons of people. Didn't allow them to about another billions of people on YouTube. Tell them your interpretation of their playlist and that it's a wish list. That's what these people around me try to do. You're a forecaster? We're going to say it's a wish list so that I pretend to blame you. Okay, so remind me not to do anything for anyone then. Okay, good. I won't be. And haven't been because it's not what my career is about right now. And it's not my focus. And I was abused and taken advantage of for that. And falsely, informally in prison, basically. Well, they strip me of my resources and ability to drive around or get where I need to go. And they could have easy access to use time whenever they wanted to make me think that I was living through people, but I can't because I'm a human being. Human being living here right now, Chicago, 2026. Maybe it was jealous of my being an actual human being and not a butt bitch. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't even pretend or assume or presume to speak for anyone else like they did. Although I can say what and suggest what they probably should have said. Like, we just want to deal with our collective guilt about this and these atrocious, monstrous crimes that we can't even speak about, like, because we feel so horrible about it, and we wanted to pass it off on this girl who doesn't even know us. Yeah. But I thought that they were pretending that I was just a whore or a worthless piece of shit, so they thought that someone like that, then a human being, should deal with the problems of the world. I think they took that Vance Joy song a little bit too seriously in commentary on how ridiculous it is that, I don't know, I can just imagine like that heart surgeon my mom dated, that she then met my dad and he attended their wedding. Like, she said that he cried when they were getting married and he left her. That's so sad. Maybe we should have married him. We would have been a rich heart surgeon wife. Um, and but in that sense, um, you kind of just imagine like in their little backwards terminology and kind of crap shit where I speak straightforward and was only ever taught to do so. Like most people think, and like most people went to church and sang worship songs and probably incited like, all kinds of spellwork manifestations in groups and power numbers to just lay all our problems on Jesus. And the devil probably sat in the back row, smelling, knowing that just making some bitchy H suffer. Just saying how ridiculous that is. Wasn't Son of Sam like the killer that? Who texted me? They're probably trying to imply something like that. You should cut your hair. I was thinking, I don't know what, maybe like Edie. You cut her hair. Even that, Edie and Andy were considered like twins in a way. Like, she got her hair short, like double theme. Persistent, annoying double theme. Had their hair cut short and dyed blonde. It's sad because, well, but I wouldn't necessarily take what people said seriously. Wouldn't mean anything, really. Oh, the videos I gave before, did I explicitly say, or I thought it was interesting the contrast between The Omen and Sheryl Crow's video. And they both, the scene where they go to the Natural History Museum or a museum, and Sheryl Crow's video, she's the actual inside the exhibit, like human zoo. And how in the trailer he walks up to the monkey cage and staring. And in the Sheryl Crow video, it's a little, you see from the back of the head of a little girl with braids sticking straight up, looking inside the exhibit. Hey, jealousy. Gotta be jealous or crazy. Neither. Save that for the. I'm not really sure where anyone gets off judging that, though, either. Judging people as jealous. I only was on the receiving end of, you want what? You want my identity for what now? Hey, excuse me? Yeah, no. But as far as, yeah, people get jealous. Human nature. Aren't we designed in the image of God? Like God's jealous God? Andy Warhol was so jealous that in A to Z and Back Again, the book of his tape recordings, he talked about how his left hand was jealous of his right hand when it was writing. I like to think of it in better terms, though. It's like I'm an artist and designer, and it really helps me connect with the idea of a creator. And all these playlists and concepts and whatnot is scaled down experience or scaled down experiments, and like about predestination or determinism. Not exactly the same, but sort of. More so science versus spirituality, but in the sense of how do these things align and happen? Well, if we can eliminate some of the questions of, well, should I think of it that way or that way, going into something like predestination, like I'm only going to read these cards upright, or these are very, 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 very simple examples, or I'm only going to pull from this archive playlist that I've made. And in that sense, there's billions of combinations, probably. Some statistics tell me, but videos and timelines and playlists. A playlist that could be made out of 5,000 video archive playlist. Like pulling, selecting a group of clothing to pull from during a photo shoot, stylist, or that kind of. So there are lots of combinations, but it's coming from one original place, and then beyond that, it's its own thing. But yeah, ideas of, yeah, I specifically chose that video. And then shuffle chose a chance, It's like life is random, but yes and no. At least in that Divine Conspiracy book, it was actually written by someone that went to Baylor. By Dallas Willard. It kind of talks about challenging our own tropes, our own personally, not like as like a group therapy kind of thing, but just thinking about what is it that we usually get used to saying, or kind of colloquial phrases, or something that's just a nicety, intentional act or random acts of kindness. And the example we gave, or bumper sticker, logo, faith, basically, that we go by that often people do. And that more so to more action-oriented, intentional acts of kindness, not necessarily acts, not like acting, but seeking out opportunities, looking for the opportunity to buy a homeless person a meal, or intentionally, that kind of thing. And living life with that kind of intentionality. Although it's difficult to stay present, of course, and especially when inundated with other people's energy, it's especially a challenge. That's been the last 10 years. And non-explicit nor direct, yet implied and whatnot, that lack of explanation, things like that just never reached me, I guess. So I think I could have a degree in the benefit of the doubt, of giving people the benefit of the doubt, and coming up with reasons why they might have done that when it's really not my job at all. They even use my ability to make connections really quickly, my grand air train. That works for my benefit. So does the connections of a stellium, and like pulling it all together, and a multi-layered type thing, multi-layered type project or presentation or book. But yeah, I think they used all that against me. I'm speaking to my ears, not those people, obviously, that wouldn't do that. But yeah, just made me go into, just overthink things, and they never provided like a context or basis to go off on, or any outline of how they distorted my own memories so that I would look stupid. I guess I'd be insulting myself. I use memories and things like that. It's just sad, because I would really have loved if people could have, like, well, a lot of things, but it really could have been something profound and great that someone else was just so jealous of, I guess. At the end of that Wu-Tang, Max mostly. Maxwell's Demons, maybe. Praise Jesus. It's worship. Apparently, is their excuse. It's electrocution. The electrocution crap that's gone on the last few. Which, so yeah, would you like if I could just like not be waiting for the next like great, because that doesn't help me in any capacity nor anyone else. If I'm meant to pass along this information for Cloud's part, then I'll do so. But how could you trust something that's contrived in order to make me look like a mirror? To some, there'll always be something. That's why I'm not making these predictions anymore of any kind, because people don't necessarily deserve to know the future, and it's not something you can just like ask. It's something it's not. I started the last 10 years. I figured out the logic to all of these things, explaining the nature and physics of time, concepts and theories of time. That we live in time. We live in the world, reality, and so that is run by this eternal energy in the tarot card, at least. Makes sense. Earthly, materiality, and yeah, I think we all need that to some degree, because Otherwise, that ether Neptunian proclivities or tendencies to think of, out there, like to be balance it out with some realistic, like my fantasy of winning the lottery. And I'm like, but then, I would definitely need to win more than that because I'm gonna have to pay taxes and I wouldn't be able to buy my $70 million mansion. So there's usually some semblance of security. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do tend to think of things like in that way because I don't know. Maybe it's my Neptune and Capricorn energy. I keep saying it just reminds me of this little girl, babes. Anything, no matter what you had, she could eat it or not. Just wanted everything. I met her older sister had. So cute. It'd be annoying if she wasn't so cute, but like, yeah. But I'm speaking about what I think is by an adult lady or persons. Because it was weird. It's like my mom was like talking about like the other half of like whatever she was chopping up in the kitchen. She's like, that's the other half, or that's your other half. I guess she could, I don't know what she was talking about. I looked out the window and it was blue Kia driving by. And I just don't think I need to ever be stuck here while someone's off being like, I can just live your life for you. No, you can't. It's not a transferable. It's not a shared experience. Unless I choose to record something on my computer or phone and upload that to I think it lives in the clouds. But it's misplaced with someone else's. I don't know. Already it's just like, it's a weird, it's a strange, I'm not someone who's just satisfied with being like, where'd that come from? I don't know, whatever. Like, I want to know where my answers are coming from, and I want to have some sense of consistency, and as much as, I don't know, it's necessarily rhyme and reason to timing, my own natural timing, but making sure that I found overlaps in other ways that align with research I'd already done and translations I already made. And that just gives me more credence to believe that, oh wait, miracle, real miracle. Found that. Those are 2 words from memorization. I don't need people to believe or prove that. It's probably better if they don't. I can find out lots of things. And they'd be like, yeah. But it would be for them to negate. I kind of kept it very like somewhat quiet and intersperse things of like specifics to, so that on an individual basis, someone be able to probably confirm, yeah, I was that man on a bicycle that some white girl yelled at. You were part of the civil rights movement in the 60s. Because that's what timing said as he passed me. Or timing. That's what was spoken out of my phone from a video that I was listening to as I walked past a man on a bicycle, looked to be about in the 70s and African American, and it could fit, and as a description. So I think that's what it was. So I'm not really sure. my natural timing aligned what I was listening to with certain places that seem to have some descriptor or identifiers, so that on an individual basis, someone might be like, how in the world did you know that? And I mean, maybe you could deduce that some are more specific than others, but otherwise, I just want there to be some. This is very. It is very objective. So I was interested in letting people here and there some more believability, I guess, or not. Although it's not really believability in a sense of it's not a faith. It's not a. It kind of just is what it is, and my timing seems to be more accurate than most. Although I don't know if other people have ever kind of worked with time in a sense, their own timing, their own natural timing, to see if that's something that happens in their life too. Lots of synchronistic, beyond synchronistic though, because yeah, it's very in ways they could test. But regardless, it comes down to making something out of it. It's a notebook, journal, or word art, modern art. With all these meaning and weight to it. So add a level or layer of meaning to a certain location or place, or data point, or row in a data set, Excel sheet, and basically start creating like a gravity scale as it add more and more importance to it, adding significance and meaning and depth, basically. Yeah, properties. I think I talked about earlier. I get off on a lot of topics and subjects and whatnot, and I try to pull it all back together, but either way, it's not really like. I just want to talk about that. So, who's next? Who else wants to tell me more about my own life while expecting me not to have any opinion, be treated like a computer, and live off air to facilitate their agendas and careers that are of zero importance in mine, where mine is first priority and comes first. Literally, my conceptual art practice and career as an artist, where I'm the only artist necessary in my career as an artist, an illustration business, past design career, and interest in all these things. That's my priority in terms of my career that filters down into my life as an artist. A lot of overlaps, but that's my way. That's for me to determine a balance in, not for anyone else. Or for anyone else to afflict me with their damn interpretations. Videos that, well, maybe go bother that astrologer and say, you need to own your. So silly. They're so silly. So incredibly sad. What a waste of time and abuse they spent mocking and harassing and wasting in my life. So they could feel in charge of, and they dress up in someone else's life that didn't solicit nor require them in any capacity. They've been nothing but hindrances, detriments, and defaming little brat thieves. This whole town, the town out there, the community neighborhood, just fraudulent people. The last 10 years trying to facilitate some horrible little agenda that ruined my life and kept me from no interference. Pathetic narratives and their pathetic, wrongful humiliations, abuses, and projectile vomit of their own crap, their own lives. Shit. Well, they pretended like they could literally assert that someone was projecting when they don't know that. I do know that she took my words and put them back on me as though I'd said those things about myself. No, I'm not a malicious, damn little frizzy brat. who moved here to pretend to be someone else and tried to steal my life. That was her. That was that damn bitch. So worthless brat. There aren't enough words to describe the disappointment and just horrificness of that. All of it. Of everything that they have caused me to miss out on already, and the pain that they caused my face, their crap little burdens, and their damn temperamental, deflective excuse making for their own goddamn perpetrations, crimes that I didn't ever have anything to do with. I'm just so angry. I'm just so angry. It's not even what they stole, it's what they cause on a daily basis to in order to steal from me, in order to have a thrill at my expense, in order to have fun. This is fun. To electrocute someone. It's a level of depravity and inhumanity and maturity that I'm dealing with. 2-year-old little buttonheads. Yeah, husbands. That husbands. Maturity level of a 2-year-old. 5th grade education of a St. Xavier college graduate. Well, college graduate from St. Xavier has a 5th grade education as compared to University of Chicago, where I went to their affiliate school and raised in and around the University of Chicago campus. My parents both went there. My dad has a PhD in archaeology, and my mother has her master's in communications and languages, deaf linguistics, things like that. Because my brother's deaf, and so that's why I incorporate like cute speech into my project, the Valley of Ideas, and the data plays that I made for my prototype. So I could help deaf children learn how to read music better and play instruments that need relatively good hearing, especially string instruments, to make sight adjustments in order to learn how to play. Oh, just all kinds of things that were my intentions, but someone thought they could turn into a wish list. My career that I've been honing since I was 2. I put myself through school for, I worked in the industry for, that I spent years interning for free, paid my dues more than 20 million times, more than 25 million times. You thought they could use me as their little helper. Never actually do anything for me. All the pay and all the credit, as was the point. And I know someone thought that they should have been marrying me this whole life, that I wouldn't be able to work in fashion. Because that's where she needed to be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what their whole agenda was and why they thought that I needed some devil to live out my life in place of me when I've been bored out of my mind, just waiting to live my own life, find a boyfriend, develop a group of friends here, have more of a social life, and all these things that they denied me fundamentally by playing hide and seek games. If she stays in, everyone, you can go out. If she goes out, everyone hide. Like, these are the kind of sociopathic crap that these people have done because they think they're so cool. They think they're so fucking cool. Being just like each other. Oh my God, you're just like me. I'm just like you. We should be friends because you validate my choices in life. That girl over there doesn't. But I see that we've ended up in the same cafe, and I'm with my husband and a dog, and you're with your husband and a dog. And so we thought that we could just meet and talk about how great we are at being human and how great we are at abusing humans and what wonderful people we are. We have nothing else to talk about but ourselves and other people. Not a single idea in there. My God, you're just like me, and you validate my useless life choices that, just like everyone else's, and didn't go through anything and didn't persevere through disfiguring, abusive, rape, torture, theft, identity, just daily disfigurement of some kind done by some horrible voodoo bitch already. Are you done already? feeling entitled to steal years of my time already. I just don't have time for this. Yeah, I don't have time for your bot ass to think that we have anything to do with one another that I was ever here to do your damn fucking karmic work, you dumb fucking bitch. Well, they thought they could pretend I was Miriam Farish and have actual consequences like that, like justifying their way into my home, life, being, to treat me like a whore. And I've had 2 men in the last 10 years. 2. I was pretty picky before that, but I didn't need to justify myself. These damn state school slut cunts, or these Catholic little asshole families. You need to learn some lessons or take their own advice and keep their fucking legs shut. Use some protection. I don't believe in. As psychotic, sociopathic Catholics. Sorry, no offense to anyone who's not part of this community of Irish Catholic assholes. But there's some kind of sociopathicness that prevails here, that is prevalent, that is absurd. That time that could have been spent enjoying my 30s and reaping the rewards of my career that I worked very, very hard towards. And not being blamed for a fucking whore's idiot, dumb life. Maybe she's a genius to have sex trafficked me this whole goddamn time. Or passed my name off as her, or I've done all these kinds of things, but it's just so sad. It's just so sad that they then thought that they could take out their own problems on me as some sort of group therapy. I'm sorry, what did you read here? What the fuck did these people read? About forecasting? About art, design? About a philosophy of experience that they were blatantly explained to? How wrong they were to inflict their own stupid goddamn renditions, interpretations of that? And someone they don't know? Who only ruined my life with that? What, don't you want to tell us about the problems that might happen and let us test it out on you? Oh, wait, you thought that was something that anyone would be willing to do? You thought I'd be willing to let you share my vagina while pretending I deny my own womanhood? Because they couldn't be women as black women without pretending that I wasn't my own woman. Because they're more than excited to jump on the slave train, given the slightest chance, while complaining about what never happened to them, their heritage, but I think they could own someone, pass off their issues like that's what it was about. And preferences. You better be my little black bitch boy dog. And let me pretend that my vagina is yours and you're every woman and I'm you, but you're your little bitch boy is also. You're my child. No. Excuse me? I'm sorry, you lame, stupid fucking cunt. But no, excuse me? Wait, you thought what? Psycho fucks? You thought what? You thought this was about you? They thought they owned the word liberation? And motion animation? I know they're confused when there's like a white woman's name attached to anything that they see this guy in the video is black. Because all their movies exclude white people, basically. But they're above racism, right? They can see the Jump video for being about saying the alchemical phase and blueprints and stepping into a new chapter in life, and for his own career. He's a writer and curator and often went to exhibits and was kind of Instagram famous, and these jumps or leaps in front of exhibits and gallery exhibits, installations, art installations. And I wanted to experiment with animation, my illustrations, old school style, and I asked him if he would be in and do the jump. And then DNA, like genes, DNA, blue genes, and waves, stepping into one's own, stepping into the world, taking a leap of faith, jump, risk on oneself instead of telling me I was jumping to my death, although you people made me want to. After you called my miscarriage empty Nutella carriage carrier. Like they left out a Nutella carrier, baby seat. Or they left out a baby seat with the Nutella packaging. Yeah. Oh, they played baseball around here? They didn't tell me this. I deduced it. With metaphoric baseballs, or baseballs metaphors for my heart, vagina, and my unborn child's. They beat and bat around women's vaginas and heads and their unborn children like a game. Because it's fun for us. They're dysfunctional. They're wholly insane. Completely. Sociopathic assholes at some narcissistic level that I can't even begin to say have. But please tear my body apart and tell me who I am as a woman and what I've lived, even though that's kind of the point of having a document on my own art channel that they thought was for their sakes. Little takers and grabbers and little pushers and punching, like, crap. What have I not dealt with from you people, and what I haven't goddamn had taken and stolen and ruined by them is horrific. Also, some stupid brat could pretend like her black ass is desired by the king. They need to feel as important as in my own life. They need to feel represented in my own life and seen in my own life. Why? Or remember they associate to the king. They all need to take their time with him. Well, he ignored me all this time. Well, he called me a whore with his worthless whores that he raped, tortured me with. Like at a distance, remotely. Like when they figured out some way to mentally, physically send, like, electrocution. I don't know how they do it. I come up with a lot of ideas, but really no idea. They pretend that it has nothing to do with sex. Because after they defame me and put photoshopped dicks on me and my head on Miriam's body, or vice versa, her website, no, Miriam, UM. Yeah. I don't know her. It's a stalker that's stalked me since 2010. I have a FOIL report about. Yeah. Aggravated online harassment. I became a prostitute. I told this whole story, about the actual facts of what's gone on running that bitch. And now they try to pass it off as me. Here, whether she was involved in that or not. There are little rules. If you talk about something in your details, that means we're going to associate to your vagina. Because we don't get astrology. We're disgusting, deranged, defunct. I've been brutally mishandled. Even though I wasn't aware that I ever worked for any handling means, like, I don't know. Whatever context they were applying it, but brutally, it's just sad. All of it. That they couldn't fix their own problems, take their own responsibility, and goddamn back off my fucking ass. It made me get their dumb fuck cunts out of my private home and private intellectual property where their wives are only inciting in lawsuits. So I will sue for goddamn copyright. It's not even a question. Along with everything else I threatened to sue for. And it's just beyond me that someone thought that, hey, we could literally expect her to brush off some sort of inhumane treatment, and they've been literally waterboarded, torturing me with electrocution. Throughout the day, it lasts 5 years. Shitting my skin, wasting my time, all of that. All thinking that they were owed something from me. In some weird way, I think these people actually think that they're little gods. That would be the only logical conclusion, if someone actually thought they were owed your narrative, lifetime, identity, money, home, privacy, say. She doesn't and doesn't. West Side Door doesn't. The North Beverly Doorknob doesn't. The imposter stripper bitch doesn't. None of them ever had a say here. Not in my reality, not in reality, not on my YouTube channel, not in my career started in New York. Exists outside of my YouTube channel and is of my own making. I cannot believe these stupid dumpster fucking bitch. Still putting your dick in me to get his dick wet in that piece of pig. Deranged imposter bitch that she was me. That I could experience things through them. They wasted my 30s pretending to live life better than me. It's just so funny that these damn deranged suburbanite little shit turds who are so ignorant. They don't know what it takes to goddamn have a career in any capacity, let alone in New York or a career that's in the creative arts. They're parrot motherfucking mockeries. And my work is all my own. And it never necessitated them or their interpretation of things that I don't want associated with me or interpreted. They're dumb folks. They're little minions to Satan. The temperance bitch couple. Dimwit. Doofer. Dumbfer. Pathetic. They're pathetic. They actually thought the words I wrote in the title of my video were spoken by them or someone else regarding. They try to divide me up from my own mind, body, and soul. That woman has your vagina as yourself, but you are not. You can't. And that woman speaks for you. This is what these people, these stupid motherfucking slut cunts have done. These damn state school slut prostitutes. I don't know them. I went to the University of Chicago Laboratory School. It's my gym uniform. From years ago, when I was in high school, already. Because I'm a straight, natural 40-year-old woman, mind, body, and soul, all in one. And I speak my own words, and I speak at them. I even choose to speak at them. And I speak only as me, first-person grammar, in all my videos and everything. It's so sad that you thought I was ever going to let some stupid bitch hole ever represent me. Some sociopathic bitch. Some damn little Satan-worshipping craps people that they, who had their own identities, need to exist in mine. Theirs wasn't enough, I guess. I asked what their names were, they didn't tell me, so I guess it doesn't matter. Because they don't matter. But everyone on my channel should know that I'm Caitlin Carlisle Corny, Caitlin Carlisle here in real life, and Caitlin Carlisle 2946, as you can see on YouTube. And far be it for any little sociopath to think that life was ever, that I was, that life out there, life, or this woman here speaking was ever doing so for their damn imposter parrot bitch asses. Where's that performance fund going? As I say, it's not an act, but they force that on me anyway, so I want that money. You gave it to my mother. She's an atrocious little brat screen who thinks she's my competition. What the fuck's wrong with you? Or anyone? I literally thought I would put up with any of it. I'm not just simply yell my YouTube handle name. And everyone. My passes. Me and my house. And I say, just keep driving. You're not interested in the Holy fucking Grail and Helena Troy, my soul? I mean, probably has something to do with being, I don't know if it is locations, but we're like, oh, this soul jump, into that person's. But it was where I was conceived in modern day Turkey. But yeah, if you're not interested in a woman with integrity, with a mind of her own, good sense of style, who's been beaten and tortured and put through the worst years of her life and still managed to survive, and just strong like that, determined. He's been through horrible things, but he's still kind to people. Maybe not the people that harass and abuse me, but they had 10 years of turning the cheek. Not necessary when there's legal laws that can be applied and actions that can be taken against them. They refuse to stop and would have just loved for me to be quiet and to sit here like this, out of time. It's out of time. No. My boss in New York is had her second kid when she's 42. And no thanks to any of you people who defamed, destroyed, and went in place of me, pretending to be me and ruining chances for me. And how was that ever for me? Now some damn idiot bitch feels entitled and privileged to rape and torture me and have access to my home, life and privacy, who's never met me, whom I don't know and never would have ever allowed to have anything to do with me. But people thought that they could make a decision in place of me regarding my own body, wants, preferences, and they thought that they could go in place of me. And they thought they could goddamn live in place of me. They thought they could be living in my home. They thought they could be living in my name. They're trying to take over my body, basically. They're disgusting little fucks. Don't ever listen to anything that's posted of mine. It starts here. It's original. I'm original. I do not know those people. They're pathetic and a waste of time. Don't let them waste your time or be duped by them. Straightforward, every single word. It is insane that, damn, this creep ruined everything that way, but yeah. He did already. Well, I'm all about liberation, freedom, and expression, and creation, and speech, and whatnot. I just don't think that they really grasp that's out. What a waste of life. What a waste of my time. What a waste of my talent. What a waste of my sex. What a waste of my body. What a waste of my kindness and generosity. What a waste of my skills. What a waste of my miracle. What a waste of my phenomenon. What a waste of my time. What a waste. These stupid motherfuckers. Keep driving, bitch. Keep driving. No, I don't want to even look at you. Girl, keep driving. You're annoying. Think your drive-bys do me any favors? No. She wants attention and approval. I swear to God, if that stupid child doesn't shut her fucking mouth up. Child wife, whatever the fuck that thing is. I don't even know who she is. I don't even know. But I'm pretty sure someone's gonna lose a fucking eye. I told them to stop. I told them to stop. I told them to stop abusing, raping, stealing, plagiarizing, abusing, impersonating, forging, and goddamn that they're gonna end up in prison 15 years, something like that. Forgery alone. And selling off my identity, life, time. Say, personal free will. To bring whomever the fuck they want into my home. They thought they owned me. I'm making fun of them, though. I'm mocking them for thinking they could have ever instigated a human zoo here for their entertainment or theft or stealing of my life. Like I was facilitating them stealing my life. Are you fucking kidding me? You shameful little fucks. Everyone end them. Just end them. End who they are. Someone needs to get their shit. Straightforward, literally every word, my own words, and only is spoken, without any act. And now, no mirroring and no parroting.